it's Allison. So we are continuing our at-home yoga series discussion. And today what we are talking about is stabilizing your core, the right way to do it, and also how to use your pelvis in conjunction with your core to protect your lower back. So I'm keeping this short. I am actually swamped beyond belief because of the fun event we're having this weekend, the Curbstone Festival at Baltimore Woods. If you are local to the Skaneateles, New York area, or Marcellus, anywhere in central New York, get on, skaneateles.com, and from there you can register. Because of COVID, you have to register in advance to shop. I think there are still some spots open for shopping, so go on. But anyway, I digress. So what we're talking about today, most people when they engage their core, what they do is they suck in and squeeze, so then they can't breathe, and it tightens their neck and it tightens their shoulders, and they hold and they get really stiff. And what you actually want to do is engage your core and stabilize it so your body is still pliable and can still move, and your neck and your shoulders are still relaxed, but you are stabilizing. So I'm going to go through this in more detail in a write-up. So make sure you check out the blog post on this week for the at-home yoga series. But what you want to do, and this is more Pilates than it is yoga, but I use it in my yoga practice as well, and I encourage you to do it as well. Think, when you're at a drive-up bank, how they have those tubes where you put the canister in with your check or whatever you're sending to them, and it goes off to the distance. I want you to think of one of those. That is going up through the center of your body all the way to the crown of your head. And we start out with the pelvic floor. That is where core engagement starts. It doesn't start holding here. It starts by lifting the pelvic floor as if you are lifting up that canister into that suction tube, and you bring that canister all the way up. It's getting taller, it's getting taller, it's getting taller, okay? And then you hold it there. Now, I want you to do that, and I want you to lift, and I want you to squeeze as very hard as you can, all the way up. Get taller, get taller, get taller, get taller. See what 100%, you're squeezing as hard as you can, knows you can't keep going, I'm gonna run out of breath. I want you to back off and do that only to about 30%, okay? So you found out what 100% was. Squeezing and you couldn't move, I couldn't breathe. Now I want you to just gently lift the pelvic floor. Imagine, if you will, you're picking up a penny off of the floor, okay? Using your pelvic floor muscles. Your glutes, your butt muscles are relaxed. You are not squeezing your butt. It is your pelvic floor. If you want to think about stopping the stream of urine when you're going to the bathroom. Different cues help different people, okay? But I want you to lift up that pelvic floor, only 30%. Feel it coming up, and notice as you're lifting up here, you feel a gentle wrapping, like a corset coming around. It's not squeezing too much. It's not like, in the whatever it is, and they were trying to make women's waists this big. We're not doing that, but you do feel a gentle wrapping around your center, and I just want you to hold it there, okay? Now, with your inhale, I want you to get your spine taller and gently, still lifting up through your pelvic floor, still have that suction coming up, gently encourage the wrapping around your waist on the inhale, getting taller, and on the exhale, I want you to just breathe and hold in place. Inhale, get taller, feel the wrapping, relax the shoulders, inhaling. Exhale, just hold. Breathing out of the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Getting taller. Exhaling. Out the mouth. Good. You can do that exercise anywhere. Sitting at your desk, driving in the car. That is core work, okay? And spinal work, because you're lengthening your spine. Look at how easy. I just taught you how to do core work without sitting down doing crunches. So we'll pat myself on the head for that. All right, Next thing that I want to cover is using your pelvis. So I just showed you how to engage your core the proper way, okay? Now, the pelvis is something that, okay, backing up for a second. We have several sets of muscle groups that are part of what we call the core, okay? And in simplistic terms, they basically connect your pelvic girdle and your rib cage, okay, to each other. Okay, I'm keeping it simplistic, okay? So that's essentially what they do. Some are grouped, some are based down here and reach up and grab here, okay? Some are based down in your pelvic girdle and reach up and grab here, okay? Some are based back here and reach around and grab, okay? So they all serve a purpose, and they are all there to protect the spine and everything that's happening inside here. That is the purpose of the core, is to protect the spine and encourage your movement. So what I want you to think about is that our body naturally has a forward curve here in the lumbar, okay? You don't see it that much with me sitting. You'd see it more here. I'll prop up so you can see it easier. This is a nice Pilates prop that I'm sitting on, this arc. Okay, so we are supposed to have a nice curve forward here, a backward curve in your thoracic spine, basically your rib cage, and a forward curve in your neck, okay? We're not supposed to be flat, all right? And when we do exercises, we want to stay in that natural alignment as much as we can, backing off using our core when we need additional stability. So, in this position, okay, exercising in this position, there is no weight, okay, pulling on my lower back. Everything is grounded. I'm totally safe right here. So I can keep my pelvis in a neutral position. Neutral position means that your pubic bone and your hip bones are level and parallel to the floor. You can keep, okay, in this pelvic position neutral. Okay, depending on your strength, most people, when their legs are up, can stay relatively neutral here because the base of their weight is still right over their pelvis. However, as soon as you start to lengthen your legs away, the pulling is pulling on my lower back. It's coming up and off. That's where we get into trouble. So that's where you need to, as soon as you pull away, lift the pelvic floor. Remember that tube coming up, and bring the hips towards the rib cage, engaging more, lifting through the pelvic floor. Bring the hips towards the rib cage, and your lower back will come in contact with the floor, but it's because of the core engagement. And then as soon as you bring your legs back up, you can return to neutral. As soon as they come away, pull it in. Good. So anytime, so it might even be sitting in simple seated pose, okay? You may need to engage and pull the hips up towards the rib cage to protect the back because this might happen, okay? Or you might need to prop up like I showed you, okay? I am going to go through this more on my blog post today, so definitely go and check on that. And also, just a real important note, I should have mentioned this first. The things that I tell you are for the typical person who does not have pre-existing conditions or certain anatomical issues that would necessitate altering what I'm telling you. If you're one of those people, you need to work with somebody individually and not do it virtually like this. But for the average person with no pre-existing conditions or no related to what we're doing here, you know, if you have a broken toe, that doesn't relate to this, you're still good, then we're good. So check out the blog post today. Remember get on skinnyouts.com to register for the Baltimore Woods event on Saturday, rain date on Sunday. And if you have any questions, email me, Allison at AmericanSchoolOfCharm.com. Thanks, guys. Peace out.